Okay, good. I didn't accidentally end the meeting. It's always the fun adventure of like, what will I forget how to do this time in Zoom? And we'll see how far we get on this one. Well, welcome everybody to meeting number 3. Really glad to have y'all with us today. And you get to see my very dirty office and the many cardboard boxes that are in random corners back here. So this one's going to be pretty short and sweet. I want to give y'all a quick update on how like the stories that we've been working on, community outreach that we've been doing, some upcoming projects. I wanted to do this now because I know that like as we get further into December, it's just going to get more and more busy. So I thought this would be a nice time to do a quick update for everybody before we all just get completely scattered for holiday season and New Year's. So that being said, we probably won't meet again until sometime in January, probably later into January. So I'll give you a month without me like bugging you for a meeting. Like I'll still probably email you, but I won't be like bugging you like this. So yay, get excited. I'll be a little less irritating. So let's dive into stuff. If I can hit the right button. Here we go. So like I said, I'm going to give you guys a quick update on our reporting thus far. We're going to talk a little bit about the feedback forms that I've been sending you guys for the stories. We'll talk about upcoming events for stories and some community stuff that we're really excited about. So here's a quick snapshot of the amount of work that we've done since we started in late August. So that's from, like literally like late August, early September to, I think, like this month, like November. So we've done 24 videos total. And it's just me making them, so that's a lot. Just as a reference point. So we have, of those 24, they break down into 10 long form videos, which are, we classify those as videos we put on YouTube that are longer than 3 to 5 minutes. So we have 10 of those, which are, more, lengthy pieces. We've also got 14 vertical videos that we have for social media. So those are videos that are going on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, other platforms as well. Sometimes those are recuts of the longer videos that we're doing, just like little snippets to kind of give people information if they're maybe not on other platforms or watching like a longer video. Sometimes they're original content specifically for just Instagram or TikTok. Usually they're always tying back into a story or something that we're working on. So they're always feeding back into bigger projects, but there's kind of some different versions of those. And then we also have on our website about 16 articles that we've done on Dove Spring specifically. And so that is stuff that ties back into our longer videos. Sometimes those are also pieces that we're getting from content partners like KUT, the Austin Monitor, Texas Tribune. If they're doing something like covering something at City Hall that maybe like I couldn't get down there for, like we'll share an article if it has to do with stuff that affects the community. So we have those pieces as well. We were kind of pleasantly surprised about this. One of the stories ran nationally, which is insane. And it was on PBS News Weekend. And this was like our first story. Yay for everybody. And then this one, big props to Frances, because she was the one who connected us with Bertha, who we profiled for this story. So I'm just going to play the intro because they actually like give a little like live from Austin, Texas. And that's kind of fun. So I wanted to play that for you guys.
This summer, cities across the United States broke thousands of heat records. But in many of them, some areas were hotter than others, what are known as urban heat islands. And that can mean higher energy bills for some and unsafe conditions. Blair Waltman-Alexson of Austin PBS, in conjunction with Austin Vita, has this report.
And there's Bertha being amazing, so that's really cool. But what was really nice about that is we actually got quite a few emails to the station with people like from other states that were really interested in Bertha's story, really moved by it, and they wanted to know how they could help her. I've been trying to like reach back to folks and see like what they were interested in doing. I haven't heard back from some folks. I'm still trying to bug them and see like what we could potentially do. But this story from this community had this massive impact. Like people just in Florida, like she has no idea who this woman is. She's never been to Texas, but she was really moved by it. And that's because of you guys, because y'all helped us connect with people in the community that are dealing with these things, and like people felt that. So I mean, really props to y'all that this got this kind of spotlight, which is very cool. Whoop.
This summer, cities are.
There we go.
That makes me cry.
Just the emails were so sweet. People are like, this woman's amazing. I want to help her. Just it was wonderful.
Yeah, she's amazing. And yes, she does need the help because oh my goodness, she's gold.
Yeah, no, she's really fantastic. I really want to see if we can get her connected with people, and I'm still waiting for like folks to email me back. So hopefully I hear back from them soon and we can get some things coordinated. But it was so cool. So we've also been lucky enough to do some community outreach things since we got started in August. So we early in, we attended the back to school bash that was held at the Dove Springs Rec Center, and we got to interview some of the kids there about what their dream home would look like. That's one of the pieces that we had go up on our social media platforms. We also attended the Wyden Elementary Haunted Hallway event for Halloween. You can't tell in this picture, I did dress up as Arthur. None of the kids knew who that was. The parents were really excited, so I at least got some credit. But but that was a really wonderful time. We gave out tons of PBS Kids material. We gave out flyers that had like our information on our storytelling to families as well, and just gave out like a ridiculous amount of candy. But it was a wonderful time to get to meet with community members and hang out with the staff there at the school. And this last one we got to do recently, shout out to Minnie because she got to give us a hand with this, is the Onion Creek mural unveiling. We set up a sounding booth to talk with folks if they're interested in sharing their stories about the 2013 Halloween flood. We got to interview, as you can see there, Constable Morales had a minute to chat with us. Minnie came out and gave us a hand with wrangling volunteers. We did not get a group photo because that did not cross my mind at any point in this day. But that got to be a part of our coverage of the anniversary of the flood, which was really fantastic. So we're super excited to have Minnie come out and give us a hand. It was really great to get to like team up in person. And this is the information we have gotten from you guys. So I bug y'all so much, and I apologize for that. When we have new stories go up and the surveys with asking you guys to tell us how we're doing, if we're covering your community in the right way. So this is kind of a snapshot of what y'all have told us thus far. And it's pretty good. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but like it's not too shabby so far. So this is of every response that we've gotten back, all kind of aggregate, that's the word, together here. For every story overall, 64% have rated it excellent, which is yay. And even the other responses were still top tier. We've gotten 28.6 has been pretty good, and 7% said okay, which I mean, we're still not in poor or terrible. So I mean, like that's, like I'm happy for that. We can always do better, but I'm glad we're not like at the bottom of the barrel. So that's a good place to be working from. As far as are these topics important to the community, y'all overwhelmingly said that they were. So I'm very glad to hear that we are covering stuff that matters to people that live there. So also really great to hear. This one, like it was just a donut, so I didn't put it in because visually it looked kind of weird. But on are we accurately portraying the community? Y'all said 100%. Yes, like this is an accurate snapshot of what the community looks like. So like that was pretty awesome to hear. It was just a blue circle, so I didn't put the graphic up there, but like y'all, y'all get the idea. So this is really great and useful feedback to us. This lets me know that we're doing stories that matter to y'all, that matter to the community, and that we're on the right track, which is really, really great. There's also stuff we can do better, but we're moving in the right direction, which is really, really good to hear. So one thing that I really want to pick y'all's brains on and would love to get some feedback on is just getting the responses back. So this is where I'm getting tripped up a little bit. Response rates are a smidge low. On average, for the stories that we've done so far, it's about 30-ish%. So is there anything that I can do to make that a smoother process, make that easier? Is there anything about filling out the surveys for y'all that's clunky or just doesn't work really great?
I would appreciate like a deadline.
Okay.
Just because I'll see the email and I obviously want to set a little bit of time aside to watch the video and kind of like maybe watch it a few times and then complete the survey. And I think sometimes I will intend to complete it, but then, a couple of weeks will go by and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do that. Like that's what happened for the last one that you sent. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it before the meeting, but it just time got away from me. But I think if we do have a deadline, maybe we could like put it in our calendars or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I thought about that initially with them, like, oh, should I say like it's due? I didn't want it to come off like a teacher, so I was a little bit leery about it. But no, if that's helpful to be like, all right, I need to have it done by Friday at 6 p.m. Then yeah, we could definitely look at doing that for sure.
And does the survey only go out to those of us on the sounding board?
I'm sorry, Cindy, the audio broke up. I couldn't catch what you said.
Or does the survey only go out to those of us on the sounding board, or who else is included? Anybody?
It's just the sounding board. So that's
Okay.
yeah, that's a new thing that we're trying for this particular reporting project is instead of just kind of trying to like mass send out tons of stuff, we're trying to just specifically get feedback from y'all.
Okay. Yeah. So like if there's only 3 of us, each one is 30%, 35%. So
right.
It's really significant if we don't turn it in.
Yeah, and I mean, and in total, we're at 9 community members that are part of it. We just had some folks that just like have not been able to jump in on the meetings with us.
Mm-hmm.
Life happens, but
right.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're at 9 folks right now. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But is there anything else? Is there anything I can do to make this stuff easier, simpler, any of that stuff?
I think, like Minnie said, having a deadline is good. Okay. Is there also maybe give a little blurb about why you need these stats? I mean, these stats are important for lots of different reasons, but maybe the group doesn't really understand what they mean or what you do with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, I could definitely put like a little thing in there saying that, it is for this, like it's for me to have feedback on, do we need to be looking at different story subjects?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, that's a really great idea. We could definitely do that.
And I think you did give different reminders, right? I don't remember. But it could help if you put like, let's say you send it this month and then within 2 weeks you send another reminder, and 3 days after you can send, before the deadline, you can put the last reminder.
And I know when this is for work, but I know when I'm trying to get a response from somebody with authority in the subject line, I'll put second request bolded, third request bolded, and usually that gets their attention. I'll get something back right away.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, we can. I just don't want y'all to feel like I'm yelling at you, but if
no, I'm good with all of it. I'm good with all of it.
Okay, yeah, that's great. We can definitely do that. And Francis, to answer your question, I think definitely in the past, I've tried to do reminders, but also it's something I can definitely do a better job with and be more strategic about, more organized. So that's something we can definitely do a better job with too. Yeah.
I don't know how exactly you would word this, Blair, but whenever we attended the first meeting, you kind of like laid out the expectations of the sounding board members, and that was one of them. So maybe just kind of, I don't know how you would do this in like a way that's diplomatic and not like I'm yelling at you, but like this,
Yeah.
you know, something along the lines of your feedback is valuable, and that's why we've you know, formed this committee, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I think there's a good way to kind of thread that needle of like, please tell us stuff. Also, like, I need you to tell me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's a very
like
good point.
I understand that people, you know, may not have time every now and then, but I think like on the whole, they should be consistently completing the surveys, right? Like even if they don't do every single one, like the majority of them, I think should be completed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, I think we'll definitely have to do that for sure. Anything else before I go on to the next slide? All right, perfect. Well, thank you all so much. That's really, really helpful feedback. I think that's stuff that we're going to incorporate all of that into like upcoming projects. So I really appreciate it. Speaking of upcoming stuff, here are some of the next big projects that we are looking at. This first one, Parent Support Specialist, I think that's probably going to be our next one that's coming out. It's the one we're furthest along with. So we're stepping slightly, taking a little, dipping our foot outside the waters a little bit here. We're going to Palm Elementary for this one. So we're a smidge away from Dove Springs a bit, but the connection came up, and I feel like the topics we're going to be able to hit on with this individual are pretty important to folks in Dove Springs as well. Please feel free to tell me if I'm wrong. The woman who's working as a parent support specialist at the school, she says one of her biggest things that she's helping families with is navigating housing. And she says it's particularly difficult because most of the families that are attending that school are native Spanish speakers. Many of them are immigrants that are new to the community, and there's just a lot of additional barriers for them trying to find housing. And another big problem too is that maybe they are students or kids that are enrolled in the school that are living with family members and not necessarily parents, maybe like aunts and uncles and cousins, you know, extended family. And they are potentially getting moved into different districts because the family has to relocate because housing is getting expensive. So she's trying to do everything she can to make sure the kids are supported, but that also means maybe they're leaving her school and where she can best help them. So while it is kind of outside Dove Springs, I think just the fact of like housing being really expensive, the challenges for families in the community that are also immigrants as well, really kind of hits on a lot of stuff that I think also resonates for folks in the Dove Springs community. But I'm happy to answer any questions or concerns that you guys might have about that.
No, parent support specialists do a lot of work. That's no doubt.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of displacement, and children are the ones that feel it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
an important thing.
sorry, Francis, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's good.
The parent support specialists, so this story would focus on Palm Elementary, but are there such support specialists at other schools in Dove Springs? I'm not familiar with that, so.
Yeah, and I think the setup is, and I could be wrong on this, but I think that any Title I school has a parent support specialist. So there's
Okay.
quite a few schools in AISD that have one. Was chatting with contacts at AISD. I think it was more just the fact that like the specialist at Wyden Elementary just wasn't really interested in like doing an interview for a story, which you know is fair. But so we're just kind of like wandering a little further down the street basically. So yeah.
No, I was just asking because it sounds like it's still like relevant to, you know, Dove Springs in this area, so that's good.
Yeah, no, it's totally fair. It's a good question.
Well, I know when my oldest son was in middle school at Mendez, we had a little truancy problem. And it was the parent support specialist that kept me from choking, basically. But, you know, even when we ended up in truancy court, I mean, the whole 9 yards. And when the judge tried to say, like, because the parents are the ones that get fined, right? When they go to truancy court, the parents get fined. And the parent support specialist stepped in and she said, no, it's not this issue. She has done everything she can to find my son. I was so happy. But they do, I mean, I can't say enough good things about parent support specialists. It's a thankless job, a very thankless job.
Yeah.
You're paid to.
Yeah, I did the initial.
It's a good group. It's a good group to target.
Yeah. I did the initial interview with the woman we'll be following around, and she was kind of just like setting stuff up and making small talk, and I was just like, so like, what's a typical day, look like for you? And oh my God, it was all over the place. And then I think while she was describing it, like a parent called her with like a completely off the wall question, something that she did not have to necessarily help with. It was definitely like outside her purview, and she's like, oh, hang on, it's gonna take like 5 minutes. And so she had to go and like manage that. So yeah, she's just jack of all trades for sure.
Yeah, Miss Hernandez, she's amazing.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah.
I should have assumed you knew. Like Francis, you know everybody. I should have assumed you knew.
Yeah, we did a climate navigator training in her room to some of the parents.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna be. She's a delight. I've already been like bugging her and stuff, so I'm excited to go and hang out with her more. We're hoping to have that up in a couple of weeks. Our big hang up is just waiting to see when I can go and get more B-roll of her at the school. So like that's kind of the only thing that's really holding us up. So hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have that together. And so beyond that, kind of next big things coming up is I'm sure you guys remember from a few months ago, the City Council and District 2 Councilmember Vanessa Fuentes had put together the Anti-Displacement Navigator Program. That's kicking off, and they have folks selected that are going to be helping people in Dove Springs stay in Dove Springs. So we're going to be profiling one of the folks that is going to be doing that job. I think that's going to be in January. We have a meeting with them tomorrow to see kind of what their timeline looks like. But we're gonna be looking at talking with them about that program. We're still gonna be doing more pieces on the history of the area. Another thing that had come up in some previous meetings was talking about the airport tank farms. So both like a history piece on some of the work previously done to get one closed that was in the area, and then a new one that's been like the discussions are going on about now. So that was probably like a two-parter that we're looking at. And then the last big thing that we're kind of working on, and I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on this, is talking with folks who have been priced out of Dove Springs, who used to live here, but now are in Kyle or Buda or, Manor, or, wherever they've had to kind of like relocate to because it's become too expensive to afford a house in this area. Oh, and Michelle's here. Hi, Michelle. Whoop. Oh no, we lost her. Maybe she'll come back. So yeah, the priced out piece. I'm still trying to find more folks to interview. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, any former neighbors that people that are a little outside of town now, they might be interested in talking to me. I would love any and all suggestions on folks that we could talk to. So if you got any thoughts, I'm here for them.
Mirna Rodriguez, do you have her name?
Who's that?
Mirna Rodriguez.
I do not have her name, no.
She's been out of Austin. There's another very humble, beautiful people, and I always forget their name, but they were my neighbors. They had to move also because they couldn't pay. They couldn't stay here no more. But they are renting the house. They moved somewhere else so they could be able to make it. And they're struggling very, very much because different issues.
Yeah.
And I'm being also moving probably by February next year.
What?
What, Francis?
Yes. Uh,
Are you
it,
good?
it's the same thing. The city's making too many changes, and if I wait till to see if I'm gonna make it, by the time the city starts doing all the changes, I'm not gonna be able to find a place close to Austin, close enough so I could come to work. And in order for me to be able to make it, I have to live in a place that I can organize. I'm an organizer. I don't want to learn a new trade. I don't want to go to school to learn something else. I just want to be doing my work, what I'm doing. And if I wait, I'm not going to be able to live in within an hour of commute. So I have to move like now. I was thinking of renting this house, use the home equity, get another one, but then I'm a single mom. I'm not gonna be able to maintenance this home.
Right.
You know, all of that, it's too much. I'm 53. I don't want to do extra stuff. I just want to do what I need to in order for me to be healthy and you know, my mental health. I'm working on that since I haven't paid attention to it. So I'm thinking of, you know, having just my kids around me and until I'm able to, of course, because then they want to leave and they, you know, I have to deal with it. But it's also thinking about as we get older, we go to the doctor more, we go to hospitals more. So I'm thinking all those things, and it's scary. Either
Access to
way,
services, right. You gotta have
yes,
access.
right. I get scared if I stay, and I get scared if I leave. So because here my mind was like, okay, I'm gonna put my ramp, it's right next to the driveway. I'm gonna put my wheelchair accessible restroom, walk-in restroom. I can put a little room in the back, put my own restroom, and you know, all my thoughts were in, I'm gonna die here. But then the city is making all of this zoning changes that if I wait, I'm not gonna be able to be here or there. So it's just one of those things. I was fighting the city, and I always said, you know, I'm gonna leave. If I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna leave fighting. I'm tired of fighting. And if I wait and keep fighting, I'm gonna stay without anything because I'm not gonna be able to make it. So yeah.
Oh, Francis, I'm so sorry. I hate to hear that.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna blame it on council people. Because they're making those decisions without thinking of the low income people that are not able to make it. You know, because they're developing Austin for the wealthier people, and the people that have lived here for so long are having to move out. And I've been told already by a few people that unfortunately some people must be displaced. And I guess we are, you know, some of those people. So yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear that. I know that's really rough, and especially like trying to get moved, like, you know, in just a few months, that's really hard. So I'm so sorry you're having to deal with that.
Yeah, so I'm painting my house right now. It's like, well, at least I have to paint it and make it look good to see if I can get the most for it. But it's like I decided to do this at the very wrong time because there's not a lot of sales right now. So I'm gonna have to get whatever people give if I want to move faster.
And do you know where you're going to move?
No, I'm still looking around Austin, like all around Austin, literally.
I
See
mean, my
where,
daughter moved to Bastrop strictly because they could buy a house for under 300,000.
Mhm.
a new house. And so it was what they could afford. They didn't want to move either, but
Right.
didn't have a choice.
And
So
I
I
went to
understand.
this anti-displacement navigator to talk to the girl, and I told her, what do you have for people that are being displaced? And she goes, well, what is it that you are you thinking of leaving? She said. I said, yes. And she said, well, we can help you with moving expenses. I'm like, well, thank you very much. I was expecting a little bit of don't move kind of thing. Don't push me. I was like, please retain me kind of
She'll
an
have a
attitude.
pack. She'll have a packing party.
Yeah. It's like, well, thank you very much. I was hoping to say, oh, Francis, don't leave. But it's like, no, we'll help you with moving expenses. I'm like, well, thank you very much.
More like a displacement navigator than an anti-displacement navigator.
Right.
Maybe
That's
I'll need to get your stuff back. That's really what.
that's what I thought. And I she kept talking and then my mind just went away. I didn't even concentrate on whatever she was saying because my brain just got stuck in, oh, we'll help you with moving expenses. I'm like, well, thank you very much. I was expecting a little bit, at least a little bit of, oh, don't leave. And I'm sorry you're leaving. But no, I'm like, okay.
Like, I
That's
have
how
some cardboard boxes. I'll swing by. You're like, no, that's not
right.
what I thought. This was gonna-
I thought that was so funny.
Oh my gosh. Well, Francis, again, I'm so sorry you're having to deal with that. I know that's incredibly frustrating. Yeah, I hate that you're having to go through that. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll get a hold of you after we wrap up this meeting. I'll either text or email you. If you have any contact information from Mira, I can start reaching out to her and see if she'd be interested in chatting. If there's anybody else you can think of that also would want to talk about having to relocate, you know, I'd love to chat with them as well. If anybody else pops in your mind, I'm happy to chat with them too.
Yeah, I think her name is Remedios Garcia, the other lady.
Hmm.
They went through a lot, but and they live, I think, about an hour away now.
Yeah.
But I'll get you that information and talk to them first if they are willing to.
Yeah, and I totally understand if people, you know, again, don't want to dig into like all, you know, all of those things. But yeah, if they're interested, I would love to chat with them. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So this is kind of, yeah, like our roadmap for the next little bit. What do you guys have any questions about any of these topics overall, or is there anything you feel like is missing that we could also add to the roster, or other stories you think we should be looking at?
About zoning.
Oh, the Sony plant? Oh yeah, like that's like a whole
That is like a year of bits and pieces.
Oh my gosh, I know I could spend so much time digging into that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would take forever.
yeah, we can add that to the radar though, make sure that we're kind of seeing what we can do with it as more stuff develops with that for sure. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
But we did win the lawsuit
I saw that.
for
Yeah.
the third time, so that was an amazing thing.
Yes, I saw that when that had come through. Yeah, which I think a lot of people were very surprised about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, anything else, any other stories or topics that we're not hitting on? There's one other thing that I didn't get added on here, and I'm kind of interested in doing more on it, is folks getting tons of letters or cold calls from people saying like, oh, do you want to sell your house? I was talking with one lady, her mother had lived around the corner from her and her mother had passed away. Her dad still lives in the house, I think. And she was just getting just tons and tons of mail because they found out she had inherited the home. And they're like, do you want to sell it? Do you want to sell it? She's like, I'm still going through my mom's stuff. Like, I don't even know what to do with this right now. And so I feel like she said like a lot of people she knew were kind of going through similar things. So like that kind of piqued my interest, but we haven't really started digging into that yet.
I've noticed it comes in waves. It'll be,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
when housing prices were really high, I was getting, you know, flyers, notes on the door, things in the mail, and then phone calls. And then I haven't had any now for the last few months, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
But yes, that has been very common the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna start seeing them back again because the values of the houses are gonna start going down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with Cindy, that I got a lot of inquiries like when housing prices were really high, like last year. But now that they've fallen, they've kind of stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something I think we'll yeah, because I think Francis, to your point, like there's gonna be that spike when the value goes up, and there'll be a whole whole new wave coming through. So well, cool. We'll definitely keep that front of mind as well. Right. Very cool. Okay, next thing. So couple things, kind of more fun stuff, but some community events and outreach stuff that we're looking at doing in the next couple of months. First one and the biggest one, we're still working out details. Hopefully we'll be able to do this, but I think Austin PBS as a station, everybody is going to be helping us out with probably a toy drive with River City Youth Foundation. We're trying to work out details with them and see if that'll be something that we can team up for. And if we are able to do that, we'll probably have like a donation box here at the station. Like all the rest of the staff here can bring in toys, and we'll do a drop off with them. If there's other people in the community, maybe we can figure out if y'all have things you'd like to drop off, or if you have anyone in your contacts that would like to donate stuff. Maybe we can plan on having a meetup where I can pick up items from you guys, or do something like that if you're interested in joining in as well.
So is this going to be a drop off like for gifts or food, or can you like, adopt a child like an angel tree type situation and buy presents that way, or just asking?
Yeah. So we're still trying to work out details with them. I think the plan now was just a general toy drive. So just donations of like, stuffed animals or toys in general, but we're still waiting to hear back from them on what specifically they need. But yeah, I think that's what our plan is at the moment, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated as we hear more stuff from them.
Okay, good. Because we could put it on our Facebook page too. The contact team has a Facebook page, and we could update it and put details on there about how you can participate. And maybe some of the families that participate with River City, do they know how to access this? Like, is it like Blue Sand or Brown Center where they fill out an application?
I believe so that like they have their contacts of like families that are in need of some assistance for the holidays. So they'll be able to distribute to those that are in need. Is my understanding. Yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever information we can get, then we can also promote it through the contact team too, right, Francis? I mean, I don't see why we couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can share it in there. Maybe we could get some.
I mean, you never know. We might get some support.
Yeah.
I could promote it within Arbor Ridge too.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
And would they be new toys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
If our backup plan, potentially, if we can't do something with River City Youth Foundation, is I know there's another group in town, the Impact Now Dove Springs, that does food drives, canned goods and non-perishables. I know they did a lot for Thanksgiving, so we might reach out and see about just doing like a food drive for them leading into Christmas that they can also help distribute to families. But so it'll be either or, not both of them. River City Youth Foundation is our first group that we're already talking with, but that's like Impact Now is like our backup plan. So one of those two will be things that we pursue to try and do a little community outreach for the holidays.
And I volunteer in Impact Now.
Oh, yeah, Francis, you're everywhere. Like just
Sorry. Sometimes I feel, yeah, and no, but it's an amazing place because we serve probably around 120, 140 people. And lately the people have been, the amount of people have been growing because the need has grown more. But we
Yeah.
started like with 60, with 50, 70, and pretty steady, started growing and growing. So now the line gets pretty big.
Oh wow, that's wild. I mean, I makes sense with stuff getting so much more expensive, but man, you hate to hear that like it's just that much harder for that many more people. But that's awesome that y'all are able to help out so many more folks. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I will definitely keep y'all posted on that as we get details lined out, and we'll move forward on that. Another thing that we're looking at potentially doing, this will probably be in probably late March, early April. We want to give like our teams here some lead time to get working on this. But we are thinking about having a broader community event. I love chatting with y'all and getting feedback with y'all, but I don't want to like be selfish and hog y'all the entire time. So we're thinking about probably renting out space at the rec center, holding a screening event. So we'll show some of the stories that we've done so far. Probably have food. I'd love to have something from the area and like have snacks and things for people. We'd like to look at potentially having childcare options for folks if they have kiddos that they want to bring, so they don't feel like I can't make it because they got the kids, or we have somebody that can like help out with that. Just in general, like, does this sound like something that would be a good idea? Does it seem like a good plan? Are there things we should keep in mind while trying to organize something like this? Any and all thoughts? Just let me know what y'all think.
Would it be indoors?
It would be indoors, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. Anytime you can get more engagement, it's not a bad thing.
I was just thinking that maybe instead of, well, childcare is always good, but maybe there's like a way to incorporate children into the event, or just make it more like I mean, I know that this is a lot of work, but make it more like an indoor carnival type thing. Not like on a grand scale, but just have like a few tables with like activities for kids or something like that.
Oh, that's a fun idea. I like that. That's really cool. Oh, that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, we could do something neat with that. Any other thoughts on like a community event? Anything else that y'all think we should kind of keep in mind while we think about planning stuff, or just like something that you're like, oh, for the love of God, don't do it this way. That's also fair too.
I think the rec center would be good, just because it's big enough, and if you can, maybe if you talk to George, he can support in maybe giving a good word for the gym to be open.
Oh yeah.
That way we can have the whole gym.
Yeah.
On a day that works for everybody.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
He's a good ally.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Like, we'll find out. No, I was kidding. No, that's a great idea. I think that would be awesome. Perfect. All right, cool. Well, if you guys think of any other, or sorry, Minnie, you were unmuted. Do you have something you wanted to throw in too?
Oh no, I just forgot to mute myself.
Oh, no. No, you're good. I don't want to talk over you. Well, perfect. Well, if y'all think of anything else, you know, between now and then, please feel free to email me. I will take any and all ideas. I will gladly say, not gladly, I will openly say party planning is not a skill set that I have. So I'm leaning on a lot of folks here. So I will take any and all suggestions on how to make this not terrible, for sure. That's really the stuff that that I had for you guys, but do y'all have any questions before we wrap up this fun party?
Do you know about when the dates for those events would be finalized? Just because you know how the holidays are, and I just want to make sure to get it on my calendar.
Yeah. Excuse me. As far as any potential toy or food drives that we'll be doing, we'll probably be trying to get that started up pretty soon. I've got a calendar over here. I think we'll probably want to have like a collection period where people can drop off donations. I would assume going through probably the 14th or the 15th, so probably 2 to 3 weeks, probably longer than the 15th because it's like already we're almost into December as it is. So we'll probably have like a 2 to 3 week window to collect items and hand those off to the respective groups so they can deliver things. But once we get those details confirmed, I'll send that stuff back to y'all. And as far as the community screening event, that will be probably end of March. So a couple months out before we have that one.
Good. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. Anything else? Any other questions that y'all might have, or anything else that y'all wanted any more information on?
I just want to
Yes.
say you guys
ahead.
are doing amazing. It's very inclusive, and I think it's something that we haven't had, you know, taking community perspective and actually coming into the community and talking to people. That is something that we have been looking for. So thank you for doing this.
That really, really means a lot. I can't begin to tell you how much that means. It is just like, yeah, music to my heart right there. So thank you so much, Francis. I'm really glad that we're like, that's exactly what we're trying to do. So I'm glad we're, you know, doing that in like the way we hope. So that means so much, truly. Cindy, you were gonna say something? So we kind of tripped up.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I can't think of anything else at this point, but I mean, I agree with Francis. I think you guys are doing a good job. We appreciate it.
Well, thank y'all so much. And I truly like, I really appreciate y'all's time. I know y'all got lots of stuff going on. Y'all are busy, especially right now with the holidays and everything going on. So I really appreciate y'all's time this evening, and just all the other times I'm also bugging you as well. Like it really, it means so much. Well, cool. That's everything that I had. So we can wrap things up a little bit early. Cindy, you can finish packing, getting your stuff set and ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta go lay out my clothes for my 4:35 in the morning.
Oh, I'm sending you happy thoughts for your alarm going off, that like
Yeah.
everything goes well.
Thank you. I need it.
All right, well, awesome. Well, you know, as always, like y'all got my contact info. If you have any questions or need anything at all, like please don't hesitate to reach out. But yeah, and I'll be bugging y'all soon, I'm sure. And if I don't see you around before then, I hope y'all have really happy holidays and lovely Christmas and New Year's, and we'll be chatting soon. So thank y'all again, and we'll be in touch.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Blair. Take
See
care,
you
y'all.
guys.